because, yeah. I'm looking at the stream right now from here. Yeah.
Okay, gather up. Nice. All right. Hey! Nice and calm. You did it.
There we go. There we go.
So, hold your partner in your heart and hope for the best. So, hold your partner in your heart and hope for the best.
Still one of them died. Still one of them died. I trained them. It's okay. Still one of them died. I trained them. It's okay.
Got a second? Made my day. Made my day. So, hold your partner in your
I'm
heart
pissed.
and
I just
hope
lost both
for
of
the
them.
best.
I was just training them for hours, as you saw before. I just lost both of them. I was just training them for hours, as you saw. I mean, at least you can see from the beginning, whatever. But let me look it up.
Notice that it's 4 Digimon's 18 plus 5 and 11. Through this work, I set down my controller. Went out to get a burger, and then bought some veggies. When I got back to the PS4 for slavery, this will not cause a problem again. Notice that it's named 7 already. That means approximately 10 days passed in the digital world, and my Digimon haven't aged today. I hope this helps all the players and noted the published name.
Digimon World Next Order is a game that can be very
All right.
daunting for newcomers,
Ready?
as there is a plethora of information thrown at the player very early on, and with it not playing like a typical RPG like most would expect, it can and will lead to a lot of confusion or just downright result in you getting wrecked. That being said, you don't have to worry too much about getting wrecked, because I made sure to get wrecked for you guys so I can provide some really
Toughen
important
up.
tips and tricks that I think will really help you get started. This is definitely the type of game where there is a bit of a learning curve at the beginning, but once you get into the sort of groove of things, you will notice that the game will play a lot smoother. So yeah, basically today we're going to be going over 10 tips and tricks for Digimon World Next Order, which will be comprised of different pointers and pieces of information that I truly wish I knew sooner. All that being said, point in the game, that being when you select your difficulty. Now, a lot of people will say that playing on an easy or beginner mode means you suck and should GTFO, but in reality, that's not the case, especially with a game like this. Firstly, you're presented with 3 options on the new Nintendo Switch. Beginner mode does not mean it's a cakewalk. You can literally go into the game and get absolutely wrecked. It kind of reminds me of easy mode from Shin Megami Tensei 5, where if you're already experienced with the SMT formula, you'll definitely know what to do. But if you're a Shin Megami Tensei newbie, you will absolutely get lit up in easy mode if you don't kick, and your Digimon's lifespan is going to depend on various factors, including but not limited to getting defeated in battle, their happiness, their injuries, etc. Basically, if you treat your Digimon bad, it won't live long, and on the flip side, if you take care of it, it'll live longer. The biggest thing is not to get too attached, because when they do die, you will receive new Digi eggs and will have to start the process over. That being said, every time you get new eggs, they're stronger than the last incarnation of the Digimon, so you still have that sense of progression. But yeah, don't get too attached, because death is going to be an inevitable part of your experience, but it doesn't mean the entire reset of
I know that
experience either. Number 3, tamer points. Okay, so I made an entire video on this already, which will be linked below, but tamer points are essentially the game's version of skill points, which can be earned through tamer experience, which basically involves you moving around the map, battling, the various raising activities, etc. Basically, most things you do in the game will give you experience, which will bring you to the next level, awarding you tamer points to allocate however you wish. These are part of the intrinsic progression that I mentioned earlier that goes beyond the lifespan of your Digimon. You can unlock skills such as the ability to have your Digimon heal when you're walking around the map, boost stats for the reincarnated eggs for the Digimon, add additional attacks that you can use mid-battle, or even a defend option, etc. These will be hugely important in your adventure through the digital world, so make sure you're paying attention to this, and check out that video I mentioned for a full breakdown on all the skills present within the game. Number 4, wild battles. Okay, so with the existence of the training dojo, you might assume that that is the most efficient way to train your Digimon, and perhaps in terms of real-world hours, that might be true to some extent, but considering the game has an in-game timer, which also in part dictates the life cycle of your Digimon, this is actually not the case. If you want to get the maximum potential out of your creatures, you're going to actually want to battle wild Digimon, because the timer will actually freeze when you're battling. I did not know this at first, but essentially, an in-game hour seems to be about 1 minute of real time, but because the timer is freezing every time you enter a Digimon battle, you're able to do multiple battles within that minute, whereas the time is only really moving in between fights. Obviously, the training dojo is the safest option because you can't die or get injured or anything like that, but if you're looking for maximum gains, definitely keep wild battles in mind. Number 5, injuries. So speaking about battles and such, this is something I really wish I understood earlier, but injuries are not based on something that happens in the battle itself. These events occur after a battle based on how much health your Digimon has. So firstly, an injury is essentially a status that causes your Digimon to lose health over time. There are 2 types. First, just a regular injury, then you have like a severe one. The regular ones can be healed with medicine or band-aids, whereas the severe ones have a chance to be brought up to a regular injury with the same. Also, resting can recover them as well. Bandages and medicine, however, are very expensive early game, so you really want to avoid doing this because resting is not guaranteed. Neither are first aid items. In order to avoid injuries altogether, make sure to stock up on healing discs and regularly use them in battle to avoid finishing a fight with low HP. Even if you finish a fight without getting damaged, you could one-shot the enemy. If you had low HP when you went in, you could get injured after the battle's done. So keep that in mind. It's very frustrating if you don't know what's going on. Number 6, enemy colors. So while on the topic of injuries and wild battles, it's important to note that there are different colors you'll see above the heads of enemies. It's pretty simple. The blue color indicates that the enemy will be a cakewalk. The white color indicates that it's an intermediate level threat, so caution should be used. And red means that you're probably going to get wrecked if you're not careful. The stage in which a Digimon is can also play into it, like a champion's going to be stronger than a rookie, etc. So keep that in mind too. Number 7, get more order power. Okay, so when you're engaged in combat, you will at certain points be able to hit the A button in order to get order power, which can then be used to command your Digimon to execute certain attacks. What you may or may not know is that depending on the timing of the button push, that'll actually help you get more order power. It seems like taking or dishing out damage and then hitting the order power command is the best bet. So once you see those little numbers appear above the Digimon's head, that's a good time to press A. And do note that these are separate for each Digimon, so if one Digimon has a number over its head and the other one doesn't, you'll get a bunch for the one with the number and a little bit for the other one. There is still some timing, like you can't hit it at any point in time when the numbers are up there, but I find that that generally helps. Getting more order points will allow you to activate your strongest skills, which cost 150, which will make it a lot easier to defeat those high-level enemies. Number 8, Tactics Menu. Okay, so for the first few episodes of my Let's Play, I didn't even know that this menu existed, but there is a tactics menu that you can locate as seen on screen, which will show you what attacks your Digimon have at any given time. That said, like we mentioned with skills, you can unlock additional slots. However, you can also swap in and out attacks on the fly, which can be extremely useful.
If you haven't already heard, people have pre-registered for this game and you're watching this video just in time. When you
useful given the fact that some attacks have better range than others, some do more damage, etc. Furthermore, you can learn new attacks through battle. Your Digimon has a certain chance to learn a skill from a compatible enemy, meaning that every time you battle, your Digimon is also learning moves on top of getting injured. Again, like I said, this is a video that's very much meant to teach you guys stuff that I wish I knew earlier, and I think this is pretty important. Number 9, sleep indoors. Pretty simple if you sleep indoors. And finally, number 10, the gameplay. Right off the bat, this is not a Digimon story title, this is not a Pokemon game, this is not a tactical RPG. Most of your gameplay is going to involve raising and maintaining your Digimon, with exploration being important, but not really the main focus like in Pokemon. You really have to get used to that idea. Once you do, the game will be a lot more enjoyable, and you'll start to find yourself making your Digimon are healthy, make sure they're pooping properly, make sure they're eating, make sure you're training them, try to make them stronger, try to increase the size of the village, rinse and repeat. This is, again, not a story-driven RPG like something like Pokemon or Digimon or whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. This is all stuff that I really do wish I knew earlier getting into the game, especially as someone that doesn't really play a lot of monster raising games. I'm going to mention this in my first impression video, which will be coming out in the next few days, but I think this game does a really good job at balancing the monster raising and more traditional exploration RPG type mechanics, and I'm really enjoying it so far. If you have played this game already, or if you just get into it, let me know what you guys think about the game so far.
He's just...